And good evening and welcome to sun-drenched Newcastle West this evening for the Irish Wire Products County Senior Football Championship Group 1 Round 4 meeting of Dromcollogher, Broadford and St Senans. It's a must-win for both sides this evening here in Newcastle West, and following on from Dromcollogher Broadford's defeat at the hands of Ballylanders last day out. And following on from defeat at the hands of Ballylanders last day out for Dromcollogher Broadford, they'll be hoping to get back on the winning track this evening here in Newcastle West. The coin toss just taken place. St Senans have won the toss, and James Naughton, their captain, has decided to play from right to left as we watch it here in the opening half. So they'll be attacking the community centre goal here to our left hand side. Dromcollogher Broadford defending the goal to our right. John Keogh alongside me in commentary this evening for this must-win game for both sides, John. And you did the commentary on Dromcollogher Broadford last day out and their defeat at the hands of Ballylanders. They'll be looking to recover from that this evening.
They will indeed, Liam. A poor performance by their standards against Ballylanders. They are missing a couple of players, as you'll explain in a minute with the team news, but it's a must-win game for both sides, you mentioned, for different reasons, to be honest, because Drom need a win to stay in the competition. Since Senans sit bottom of the group with only a point, so they'll need it for obvious other reasons that year after coming up from intermediate level. Should be a good game though.
It should be. Let's run through team news then. As John said, a good number of changes from either side on the match programme that we have in front of us. We'll start with Dromcollogher Broadford, who are in their huddle to our right as we watch it here. James Noonan starts in goals for them, a full back line. Jack Ryan, Garrett Noonan and Sean O'Sullivan. Ross Egan, Michael Ryan replaces Killian Fahy, who misses out this evening. He's a big loss. He's currently on holidays, so he misses out from centre back. And Keith Lacey replaces Dee O'Leary in the half back line. Michael O'Sullivan, Gerard Gorman are at midfield. Patrick Stack, Micheál Brosnan and Dennis Dunnigan the half forward line, with Derry McCarthy, Shawnee Buckley and Kevin Noonan the inside forward line. Expecting a few positional switches as well on top of all of that this evening. St Senans, well, they line out with Cian Walsh in goals, a full back line of Dale Fitzgerald, James Bridgman and David Finnerty. Dara Wolfe, Darren Lawler and Ray O'Flaherty are the half back line, with Adam Kearns and Stephen O'Connell at midfield. Gerard Hanlon, Richard Hayes and Maurice Fitzgerald the half forward line. Conor Milan, James Naughton and Anthony Mulvihill the inside forward line. But again, a number of positional switches expected on either side. And I suppose from a Dromcollogher Broadford point of view, John, a big loss is Killian Fahy.
Yeah, a huge loss, Liam. He was one of their better players against Ballylanders last week. A lot of runs through the middle from an attacking point of view, and held up his end at centre back as well. It'll be interesting to see how they cope without him.
Referee for this evening's game is from Patrick Swell. That's Michael Wolfe. He gets us underway here in Newcastle West, and this must-win game for both these sides is underway, with Dromcollogher Broadford winning possession of it from the throw-in, but not the best of hand passes there, and it's Ray O'Flaherty who picks up possession of it for St Senans, and now he lays it towards David Finnerty. Up this near side of the field they come. Richard Hayes in possession of it, just on his own 65-yard line. Looks up for the option, finds it from David Finnerty back there. The hand pass doesn't quite go to hand, but it might work out, as here they come on this near side of the field now on the attack. That's a long ball sent in by Conor Milan. In it goes inside, trying to win it inside there is James Naughton. Turns and kicks this one in and sends it over the crossbar. First score of the game comes inside the opening minute for St Senans, and it comes from their captain James Naughton. Just the start, John Keogh, that St Senans would have wanted.
Absolutely, Liam. A good long ball in from Conor Milan, who started out in the wing here but is going back into full forward. Well controlled by James Naughton, and did enough to put it over the bar.
So a point to no score. St Senans have the lead here, and the kick out is going to come from James Noonan in the goal away to our left hand side as he looks to kick this one from the 13-yard line. Gets plenty of height in this one, drops down around the middle of the field. Winning possession of it there is that's Adam Kearns, who brings this one forward. Still going, Kearns, hand pass inside now, real chance of a goal here, back across the centre, fisted, but the referee has said Conor Milan was inside in the square as that ball was delivered and has given a free out. But a real goal chance there for St Senans, who ran at the heart of the Dromcollogher Broadford defence on that occasion, and certainly asking question marks early on.
Yes, they are, Liam. It was a huge area of concern for Drom Broadford last week. It was their kickouts. They lost another one at the start of this game with Adam Kearns then making a great run through the middle. I think the referee made the right call. Conor Milan seemed to be in the square from our angle anyway.
So the Dromcollogher Broadford working this one clear now as they play it towards the far side, but it's intercepted, and Dale Fitzgerald it is that picks that one up for St. Senans and gets the return hand pass, and on the halfway line in front of the stand towards the 65 bounces it, juggles with it to try and get it back, and then eventually just runs out of options and hand passes it out over the far stand sideline. Line ball going there in favour of Dromcollogher Broadford, which they take quickly and play forward with Garrett Noonan in possession of it now, looking to get past the St. Senans man on this near side, who's Anthony Mulvihill, who's holding him up well. Back again towards Garrett Noonan. Noonan number 3 on his back, but operating in or around the middle of the field this afternoon or this evening. The ball goes to ground, and in there trying to win possession of it, Maurice Fitzgerald tight towards this near side. In fact, St. Senans have won a line ball, have they, down this near side of the field, and an opportunity for them. That was Declan Lawler, in fact, Darren Lawler I should say, that was foul there, but the free or the quick line ball is taken, and Dromcollogher Broadford have won it back here, and Micheál Brosnan has it. Brosnan lays this one now towards Garrett Noonan. Noonan goes forward with this one towards the edge of the semicircle, finds the support there from Derry McCarthy. McCarthy kicks this with the left boot, but it goes to the left hand side and wide. First attack of the game for Dromcollogher Broadford yields their first wide of the game. We're playing just 3 and a bit minutes of the opening half. It's still St. Senans that lead a point to no score. John Keogh.
Yeah, a bit laboured attack there from Drom Broadford. It was a feature of their game. I don't want to be repeating everything that happened in the Ballylanders game, but they operated with Micheál Brosnan as a lone full forward line man on his own, and they didn't get the ball into him quick enough last week. They need to do much better than that this week.
Ball sent near side of the field as Dromcollogher Broadford have it now with Ross Egan. There's this one towards Dennis Dunnigan. Looks up for the option, plays it across the centre, and Kevin Noonan, the captain this afternoon, gathers possession of it, brings this one forward now, and again support from Ross Egan as they work it towards the far side. Derry McCarthy, who had that wide just a couple of seconds ago, in possession of it, 45 yards out, tries a little chip through, which works out for Micheál Brosnan, who's out in front of his man. 21 out, lays the pass back towards Kevin Noonan. Noonan kicks this with the left boot into the hands of the goalkeeper though, and Cian Walsh finds the support, and St. Senans work this one clear now in the shape of Darren Lawler, brings it towards the 21 yard line, off now towards Maurice Fitzgerald further out the field, and here comes Ray Flaherty on the run from deep inside his own 65, now towards the captain James Naughton. On he goes, 1 point to his name so far. He's on the 45 again, running at the heart of the Drom Broadford defence, goes for the shot, and that is a super score from James Naughton. A serious shot there from the captain. Did well to win possession of it, went on the run, ran at the Drom Broadford defence, and gets the second point of the night for them.
Yeah, fantastic score there from James Naughton. As you said, Liam, he picked it up and again ran through the heart of the Drom Broadford defence. He looks to be in form tonight anyway so far.
Certainly does. The goalkeeper being told to hurry on with the kick out, which he eventually does, and it's won cleanly by St. Senans down the far side. And again, Dromcollogher Broadford having a couple of issues with that. Richard Hayes it was, tight towards that far sideline, that lays it back across the centre. James Naughton, 2 points to his name so far, skips past the attempted challenge. On he goes towards the 21, still going. Left foot, was he foul as he kicked it? Certainly the St. Senans mentors in front of us think he was, but goalkeeper James Noonan brings this one away for Dromcollogher Broadford and comes away with this now towards the defensive 45, far side of the field, forward towards Dennis Dunnigan, lays this one back now, and the hand pass eventually towards Garrett Noonan, under pressure straight away from Stephen O'Connell, but manages to get the hand pass away, and this brought clear now by Michael Ryan, forward towards the attacking 45 yard line. Kevin Noonan has possession of it. Noonan on towards the 21, kicks this with the left boot. That looks good, that is very good, and it's Dromcollogher Broadford off the mark. 2 points to 1 here. Their first score of the evening comes compliments of their captain Kevin Noonan.
Yeah, much quicker attack there from Drom Broadford on this occasion, ending with a great Kevin Noonan score. Kind of cut across the ball and went straight over the bar. Kevin Noonan has been their biggest threat all year long. Didn't get into the game last week, but it's something they'll have to rectify this week.
Short kick out, and they work it short to St. Senans, and here they come with it now in the shape of David Finnerty. And Finnerty looks up for the options, not too many options ahead of him, so he has to hold on to possession of it and then lay it across towards James Naughton. And again, Naughton running at the Dromcollogher Broadford midfield partnership on this occasion. tangling of legs there off the ball. The referee has awarded a free going in favour of St. Senans, and one of those ones that I suppose 9 times out of 10 always results in a free for the attacking side when 2 players tangle legs there. But the referee has awarded this free going in favour of St. Senans, and an opportunity for them from midway between the 45 and 65. And it's going to be Richard Hayes. He was practicing long range frees before the game and was knocking them over from about 45 yards out. This a little more than that. No breeze at all here this evening, so the breeze certainly won't play a factor in this one. But he's going to line this one up, is Richard Hayes, and will fancy his chances of kicking it into the goal to our left-hand side. Here he comes, kicks it right-footed. It's going to drop in around the house, and the goalkeeper does well to gather it. But the referee has once again given a free out. Conor Milan protesting his innocence there. But the free out is taken quickly, and Dromcollogher Broadford come away with this one now. Here they come in the shape of Michael Ryan, working it from deep inside his own half towards Ross Egan, back across the centre towards Ryan again, further out now towards Derry McCarthy, right on the halfway line. 2 points to 1. St. Senans lead here in Newcastle West, and this ball is played forward. Micheál Brosnan picks up possession of it. Brosnan gets past the first challenge, gets the kick in and sends it over the crossbar, and Micheál Brosnan has kicked his first point. Dromcollogher Broadford's second of the evening. 8 minutes exactly played of the opening half, and we're level at 2 points apiece. A fine score from Micheál Brosnan.
Yeah, lovely score, Liam. Took the ball in the left wing and attacked James Ridgman there, and I think James Ridgman may have picked up a knock as he was trying to chase him. He's limping, and also bad news by the looks of things for St. Senans, with Marcus Fitzgerald receiving treatment here for the last few minutes. But from Broadford level now, and they'll be looking to build on that.
Here they come on the attack again down this near side. It's Dennis Dunnigan. Off he lays it towards Sean O'Sullivan. Hand pass finds Kevin Noonan. Noonan kicks this with the left boot. Is it the lead score? The answer to that is yes, it is. Kevin Noonan gets his second point of the evening, and that puts Dromcollogher Broadford into the lead for the first time, 3 points to 2. And after a shaky enough old start, they've began to assume a bit of control of this game here with 9, almost 10 minutes of the opening half played. That is 2 in a row now for Dromcollogher Broadford to put them into the lead, as the short kick out goes towards Ray O'Flaherty, looks up for the option, finds the goalkeeper, that is Cian Walsh, and Walsh hand passes this one down the far side of the field now again towards Dale Fitzgerald, in front of the shadow of the stand over there, the Moss Bruder stand here in Newcastle West, as the ball is laid back now as far as Cian Walsh, the goalkeeper, hand passes this one out towards fullback James Bridgman, and he builds this one from the edge of the semicircle towards the defensive 45-yard line. The toe to hand goes slightly above his head, but he still wins back possession of it, and James Naughton has it now. Looks a silky footballer, does James Naughton. Lays this one off as far as Ray O'Flaherty, and O'Flaherty plays it towards David Finnerty now, near side of the field. That's well intercepted there and well read by Gerard Gorman down here. Did he touch that on the ground? Referee says play away, and that's exactly what St. Senans do, and they come on the attack here now with Darren Lawler. He's left the ball behind him though, and Dromcollogher Broadford win it back to Patrick Stack, and now an opportunity for them to start an attack from deep inside their own half from Gareth Noonan. Sends it down the far side of the field, gets the return hand pass again on his own 65, past halfway towards the attacking 65, looks up and finds support from Dennis Dunnigan. Further down the far side now towards Sean O'Sullivan, and again St. Senans just funneling numbers back here now, as they have 11 men behind the ball on this occasion, as the hand pass goes and finds Gerard O'Gorman. O'Gorman lays it off as far as Garrett Noonan, who kicks this one in, but it goes to the left hand side and wide for the second wide of the game for Dromcollogher Broadford. We are playing almost 10 and a half minutes of the opening half. Dromcollogher Broadford lead by 3-2. John Keogh.
Yeah, Drom Broadford now looking to be taking more control of the game. That the fast-paced start that St. Senans made, mainly with James Ridgman running quickly in through the middle, they've slowed that up, but now they're on the attack again. Yeah,
Naughton plays this one forward towards Stephen O'Connell. On he goes onto the 13, still going, dragged down. Well, what colour will this card be now? Because that was dragged down by Gerard O'Gorman. It wasn't around the neck or anything, but it certainly was around the arm and dragged down. And well, the St. Senans mentors are claiming for a black card, but I'd say the referee from Patrick's Well might just issue a yellow, or there's no card at all indeed for Michael Wolfe there. And I think Gerard O'Gorman can consider himself a lucky man on that occasion, John.
Yeah, it was at least a yellow card, and more to be honest, it should have been a black, but referee Michael Wolfe has opted to keep his cards in his pocket for the moment.
Here comes the free, which is sent in and over from Richard Hayes. So he gets his first point of the night, and St. Senans and Dromcollogher Broadford are level again here in Newcastle West, as the St. Senans mentors just have a word with the lines person on this near side of the field, wondering why there wasn't a card of any description issued, as the kick out goes down the far side of the field. It beats everybody and has gone for a line ball, this time in favour of Dromcollogher Broadford is the decision across on that far side. So line ball for Dromcollogher Broadford, 3 points apiece. Fairly even so far. I suppose the opening few minutes won by St. Senans, and then Dromcollogher Broadford coming more and more back into this game. But here they come now with the possession of it back inside their own 45-yard line, looking to build an attack again from deep inside their own half, playing the patient game. Sean O'Sullivan bounces the ball, comes back to him. Referee has said there was a challenge around the neck there. He's awarded a free going in favour of Dromcollogher Broadford, and just a little bit of note taking by the referee Michael Wolfe from Patrickswell, who thus far has kept the cards in the pocket, as Gerald Gorman hand passes this one across towards Michael O'Sullivan. Now further out towards Dennis Dunnigan, looks up for the option. Good support play from Kevin Noonan, finds Derry McCarthy, and McCarthy goes forward with this on towards the attacking 45. The space half open for Gerald Gorman, but instead it's Kevin Noonan that has it, the captain. Back inside again towards Dennis Dunnigan. He's held up, gets the pass away towards Micheál Brosnan, back towards Kevin Noonan. 2 points to his name so far, off to Micheál Brosnan, who's gotten a point. There are the two scorers for Dromcollogher Broadford. Derry McCarthy took that into contact. Referee has said he's overcarried it. Free out, and good defence from St. Senans.
Yeah, very good defence, Liam. They all funneled back fairly quickly, and fairly quickly Drom ran out of options there, but it was a laboured attack all the same. Gave St. Senans the chance to get their men back, and they got the free on the back of it.
They sure did. The free works short now, as here they come on the attack again. James Naughton just down here in front of us lays this one back now to James Bridgman, the fullback, gathers possession of it. Naughton calling for it on this near side and sets off on a run, but it's Maurice Fitzgerald that has possession of it. Fitzgerald plays this one forward, one inside by Conor Milan. Good hand pass, the experience of Milan. Further inside now, here's an opportunity. Richard Hayes, and it's into the back of the net. A well worked move by St. Senans, which included the wily old campaigner of Conor Milan laying off the hand pass, and Richard Hayes it is that finishes it to the net. The first goal could have been crucial. It's gone the way of St. Senans, 1-3 to 3 points.
Fantastic move there from the Fines club into Milan. Was good play as well from David Finnerty, coming up from corner back to link up at Milan, and before Hayes buried to finish into the corner. Well deserved goal too.
It sure was, and it all started from good defence back there as well. Good pressure on the Dromcollogher Broadford attackers, so credit to all involved in St. Senans for that goal, which started, as I say, back in their own half back line. Meanwhile, Dromcollogher Broadford trying to work this one short from the kick out, and they have possession of it now. Over there winning it with that one is Keith Lacey, I think it is, that has it. Lays it back again towards Garrett Noonan, and he in turn now lays this one off on the far side of the field, in possession of it towards that far side, coming forward now up towards the 65-yard line. That's Kevin Noonan who has it. Noonan goes forward on towards the attacking 45-yard line, looks up for the options, tries to lay it back towards Ross Egan, near side of the field. He looks up, what's the option? It's short towards Dennis Dunnigan, back across the centre, and this time it's sent towards the far side of the field, where it's gathered there again now by Keith Lacey. Further inside now towards Derry McCarthy. Hand pass goes off as far as Micheál Brosnan, who takes this on the run. Brosnan goes through, opts to chip this one high, but sends it to the right hand side and wide. That is the third wide by my reckoning for Dromcollogher Broadford of the game. St. Senans yet to register a wide for me, as John Reddington, who's here beside us, agrees that is the case. We're at the midway point of the opening half. St. Senans by the goal, 1-3 to 3 points.
Yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted with that scoreline at the moment, midway through the first half, Liam. Again, very good defence, causing Drom to take pot shots. Really, it wasn't a shot that was probably on for Micheál Brosnan there. Senans full value for their lead at the moment.
They sure are, and they have a free now right around the middle of the field as well, and this is going to be taken by James Naughton. Sends it down this near side, gets the return hand pass, and Naughton heads towards the attacking 45. Ball in towards Conor Milan, just Milan just a half a fraction behind his man there, couldn't get to it on that occasion, and Dromcollogher Broadford bring this one away now. Gerard Gorman out around the middle of the field, lays the hand pass back, and here they come. Hand pass goes forward towards Michael Ryan, brings this one forward on towards the attacking 45-yard line, back across the centre of the field where it's won by Micheál Brosnan. Did he pick it off the ground? That's the St. Senans call. Off to Kevin Noonan. Noonan kicks this with the left boot. A Senans man hanging off him, but Kevin Noonan manages to get his third point of the game. 1-3 to 4 points, and Dromcollogher Broadford get the response that they would have wanted to the concession of the goal. 1-3 to 4. We're back to 2.
Yeah, good score there from Drom Broadford. The second they moved the ball a bit quicker in, they seem to be causing Senans a few problems. I see now Derry McCarthy seems to be the lone full forward man now, with Micheál Brosnan involved in that move, setting up Kevin Noonan. They just need to get the ball in a bit quicker. They seem very laboured in their attack, and when they slow it down, it's giving Senans a chance to funnel men back.
Ball won by St. Senans as they come forward with this one now. That's Stephen O'Connell in possession of it. Going forward with this, he decides there's a bit of space in front of him. Gets the hand pass away towards Conor Milan. The right boot of Conor Milan sends this one in, but it's gone to the left-hand side and wide. Umpire on this near side, Podge Mullineux, decides that that is wide. So that is St. Senan's first wide of the game, and it comes on the 17th minute of the opening half as well, as the kick out going to come from James Noonan into Dromcollogher Broadford goal away to our left. Goes short and well robbed by Conor Milan. Gets the hand pass away. Can't win possession of it though. The boot back won by Dromcollogher Broadford, and they got away with that one at the second attempt, and here they come with it now in the shape of Garrett Noonan, near side of the field. Off he lays it as far as Michael O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan plays this one towards that was Garrett Noonan. Gets a hand pass up towards Kevin Noonan, now towards Dennis Dunnigan, near side of the field. Dunnigan being held up by his opposite number, Maurice Fitzgerald, and the ball played back by Garrett Noonan across the centre now towards Michael O'Sullivan, further out the far side of the field. And here comes Drom Broadford again on this patient attack that we're so used to seeing from the champions of so many years. Forward towards Derry McCarthy, hand passes this one off, and here's an opportunity. Keith Lacey goes forward with this one. He's held up. Derry McCarthy won the ball back, but the ball taken away from him. He was looking for a free, none forthcoming, and St. Senans it is that come away with possession of this one now towards the defensive 45. Ball sprayed towards this near side. Out in front of his man is James Naughton. His man on this occasion is Ross Egan. Spins one way, then the other. There's Naughton. Kicks this with the right boot. We're right behind it. It looks to be going to the left. Has it snuck inside? It has. That's a super score from James Naughton. Probably the score of the game so far tonight. 1-4 to 4 points. James Naughton's third point of the night.
Without doubt the score of the night so far, Liam. A great piece of defence from Senans again. Anytime Drom tried to run through the middle, they block it up. Drom coughed up the possession. It was quickly moved down to Naughton, and from all of 45 yards straight over the bar.
A delightful point here. Score of the game, as we say, 1-4 to 4 points as Dromcollogher Broadford come away with this one now again. Sean O'Sullivan off to Garrett Noonan, back to O'Sullivan again, right in the halfway line, further out the far side now. Here comes Micheál Brosnan, 1 point to his name, towards their top scorer so far, Kevin Noonan, in possession of it. Back again it goes towards Brosnan, looks up for the option, lays it back towards Michael O'Sullivan, now again towards Noonan. Noonan about 21 out, finds Derry McCarthy, crossfield ball towards Garrett Noonan. This is good, slow, patient build up from Dromcollogher Broadford as Garrett Noonan kicks this with the right boot under pressure and kicks it to the right hand side and wide. Fourth wide of the game for Dromcollogher Broadford. The gap is 3 points, 1-4 to 4 points, and the stopwatch says 19 minutes and 54 seconds played.
Again, patient build up as you said, Liam, but St. Senans will be happy with that. Again, forced Drom to move across forward and back, but it was Garrett Noonan that ended up with a chance, and I think, being honest, Senans will be happy if it's Garrett Noonan shooting all day.
Here comes the attack now with James Naughton. His name so far, lays this one off as far as Stephen O'Connell towards he's back to his feet, and play is going to resume with the kick out in the goal away to our left hand side, which comes from James Noonan, sent down the centre of the field, gathered cleanly by Michael O'Sullivan, so he gets the mark and is awarded the free. And the referee just tells him to hurry on and take that kick, which he doesn't do. So the referee has decided he's going to throw the ball up between a couple of players. Just a bit too slow there was Michael O'Sullivan, but didn't really have too many options, John.
No, absolutely no one moving from there, Liam. He held on to the ball, he looked left, he looked right, looked behind, looked forward, and no one inside from him.
So they've won the throw-in ball anyway, and here they come with it on the attack now with Gerard Gorman. Plays this one towards this near side. The referee has spotted a pull in the jersey of Kevin Noonan inside there, so he's awarded a free. The free going in favour of Dromcollogher Broadford, just 21 yards out, and an ideal opportunity for them to get what would be their 5th point of the night. And so far Kevin Noonan with 3 points, Micheál Brosnan with 1, and Kevin Noonan looking for his 4th point of the night here as he lines this free up from the 21, kicks it left footed in and over the crossbar, and the white flag is up again from the umpires, and the scoreboard changes. 1 goal and 4 to St. Senans, 5 points now to Dromcollogher Broadford as we play 23 minutes of the opening half here in Newcastle West this evening. If wherever you're watching it, I hope you're enjoying it on the Sporting Limerick stream here this evening, as the ball brought forward now by James Naughton, the captain for St. Senans. Comes up, kicks this with the right boot. That's a beautiful point from James Naughton. Not for the first time we've said that tonight. His 4th point of the evening, and another delightful one. 4 for him, 1-5 to 5. The gap is back to 3 again.
It is, Liam. That's magnificent again from James Naughton. He turned Ross Egan inside out, and before it looks like he can shoot all day from 45 metres out. Another fantastic score from the St. Senans captain.
Kick out, won by Dromcollogher Broadford, and again they're trying to work it from inside their own half. The ball crossing that far side. Michael Ryan lays this one further out far side of the field, and here they come in the attack now. Sean O'Sullivan in possession just on halfway, crosses halfway towards the attacking 65-yard line, finds the support from Dennis Dunnigan, and St. Senans just fall back and allow them have possession of it up to the 45, and then you'll see St. Senans press on Dromcollogher Broadford. Ross Egan opportunity back towards Micheál Brosnan, now towards Derry McCarthy, kicks this one in, but it's short and into the hands of the goalkeeper, and Cian Walsh comes away with this one. And now St. Senans looking to turn defence into attack fairly quickly as the clouds gather overhead here in Newcastle West. Hope they don't drop too much rain here as David Finnerty has possession of it. Back now towards Stephen O'Connell. O'Connell lays this one towards James Naughton, the captain, 45 yards out, skips past the first challenge, eventually halted his run. Back to Darren Lawler, near side of the field, hand pass further up the field now, finds the wily old Conor Milan tight towards this near sideline, 21 yards out. Milan kicks this one with the right, it's half blocked and it's gathered inside there, and Dromcollogher Broadford come away with this one now in the shape of Gareth Noonan. 1-5 to 5 points, 25 minutes played of the opening half here in Newcastle West, as here comes Micheál Brosnan. He's got a fair burst of speed as he breaks through the St. Senans defence. He's got support in this near side from Michael Ryan, who just couldn't control it first time, gathers it second time, back towards Brosnan again, now towards Gareth Noonan, on towards the edge of the semicircle, onto the 21, kicks this with the left boot, Gareth Noonan, but again he's kicked it to the left and wide, 5th wide of the game. The St. Senans mentors in front of us say good pressure on Gareth Noonan, but disappointing for Drom Broadford. They're 5th wide of the game.
Yeah, Micheál Brosnan made a great run to set up that attack, Liam, but he'd no one with him really outside of Michael Ryan on his right flank. Derry McCarthy was in full forward, but there was no options. They eventually worked it back to Noonan, and as I said earlier, Garrett wouldn't be noted for his shooting ability, more defensive type of player. Senans will be happy if he's shooting like that, and again, wide ball.
Kick out long down the centre of the field, and St. Senans have possession of it. Richard Hayes looking to come away with this, gets the pass away towards Maurice Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald pings one into this near corner, but just cut out there before Conor Milan could get to it, who's almost standing on the corner flag there, as he couldn't gather possession of it, as Michael Ryan comes away with this one. In fact, it's Micheál Brosnan. Brosnan plays this one forward, cut out back there though, and away now comes St. Senans yet again, and that's Ray Flaherty in possession of it, back as far as Maurice Fitzgerald, hand pass across the centre, and here comes St. Senans in the shape of Stephen O'Connell, looks up, finds the option in acres of space across on that far stand side, and St. Senans building the attack now again. Forward it goes towards Adam Kearns, who has possession of it, 45 out from goal, looks up for the option. James Naughton makes the run. Naughton it is that has possession of it, now towards Richard Hayes. Down this near side was Darren Lawler, but they've gone down the far side instead, and Adam Kearns it is that has it, and the referee has said there was a foul. He was playing the advantage, none forthcoming. It's going to be a free, the free going now in favour of St. Senans, and the referee going to have a bit of note keeping to do here, and I think we might see the first card of the evening, John.
Yeah, I didn't see it myself now, Liam. It was kind of off the ball, seemed to be a tug of the jersey of some sort. It is a yellow card given though for number 7 there. Dee O'Leary, who's operated centre back instead of Killian Fahy. Yeah, better defending though from Drom. They'll be happier with how they've handled that attack. They got enough numbers back. Senans, who've been playing on the counter attack and successfully all game, but it's another chance for Richard Hayes now to extend their lead.
And the breeze, as we say, has picked up, which probably means that the rain could be on its way as well out around West Limerick, as here comes the opportunity for Richard Hayes with the breeze at his back as he kicks this one in. It looks to be good, and it's right between the uprights. That's his second point, so a goal and 2 points now for Richard Hayes. Both of his points have come from frees, and of course the goal has come from open play, and it puts St. Senans 4 points to the good. 6 to 5 points, and the stopwatch says 28 minutes and 13 seconds played of the opening half. A 4-point lead for St. Senans.
Yeah, it is, Liam. A fantastic free there from Richard Hayes. Difficult, tricky wind conditions now at this stage, but didn't put too much height in it, kicked it low and got rewarded for it.
Here come Dromcollogher Broadford then from their own defensive 45-yard line. Hand pass back across the centre, finds Dennis Dunnigan, looks up for the option, lays this one towards Micheál Brosnan and further out towards Garrett Noonan. Space opens up in front of Noonan, just controls it at the second attempt, has support down the far stand side. Instead it's Derry McCarthy that has it. McCarthy flights this one towards the far side, running into it to win possession of it. Kevin Noonan very tight towards that far stand sideline, lays it back across the centre now towards Keith Lacey in an advanced position, now towards Micheál Brosnan. He's got pace. Brosnan kicks that one in. Uncharacteristic, it has to be said, from Micheál Brosnan to kick that to the left and wide. Good defence by St. Senans though, forcing Dromcollogher Broadford to kick their 6th wide of the game. 6 to 5 on the wide count. It's 6 wides to 2. That could be telling.
Could be telling by the end of this game, Liam. Alright, yeah, St. Senans have definitely been more economical with their shooting as they launch another attack now.
They sure do, and on the attack is Adam Kearns. Kearns onto the 21, just drops into the hand of the goalkeeper though. That's James Noonan, and Noonan brings this one away towards the 21-yard line. Down the far side of the field it goes, and Jack Ryan has possession of it. Under a bit of pressure, Jack Ryan lays it back across the centre. And still Ross Egan down that far side, lays it further back now, and this is with Garrett Noonan, who brings this one away. The hand pass though from Michael O'Sullivan wasn't the best, and possession has been coughed up, and St. Senans have won possession of it now, and David Finnerty it is that goes forward towards the attacking 65-yard line, lays this one back now towards Richard Hayes, the goal scorer, back towards James Naughton, who's 4 points kicked in this opening half so far down the far side. And here they come on the attack again. Dara Wolf kicks this one, it's into the hands of the goalkeeper though, and that's hugely frustrating from a management point of view, and the rest of the players up the field as well, when a ball drops into a goalie's hands, as Dromcollogher Broadford set up this attack. And there's nothing more frustrating, John, as a supporter and everybody, to see a ball drop into a keeper's hand.
No, there isn't, Liam, and St. Senans have done that with their last 2 attacks now. They have the breeze, that they've been working the ball very well. The 2 shots they took on weren't really on, and straight, as you said, straight into James Noonan's hands, and that's half time.
It is. The referee has decided we're not going to play any stoppage time at all. Just 44 seconds of stoppage time played in the opening half. It is half time here in Newcastle West, and Dromcollogher Broadford find themselves 4 points behind. 1 goal and 6 points to St. Senans, 5 points to Dromcollogher Broadford, and you'd have to say, John Keogh, St. Senans full value for their 4-point lead.
Absolutely, Liam, they are. Yeah, they've moved the ball quicker when they have attacked. They've got back brilliantly in defence to snuff out many Drom Broadford attacking moves. From Drom's point of view, they were in a similar position last week against Ballylanders, thinking the wind may have done it for them last week. It didn't work out. They need a bigger effort, a huge effort in the second half to keep their championship hopes alive. They're not moving the ball quick enough into their forwards. They're operating with a 1 man inside the 45 more often than not. They've 3 big men around the middle of the field, and Michael O'Sullivan, Gerard Gorman and Dennis Dunnigan. They could be better served with the bit of a breeze they have in the second half, putting 1 or 2 of them in around the goals to cause a bit of havoc. But at the moment it looks like St. Senans are well on top and heading towards victory.
Well, half time here, another 30 minutes to go in the Irish Wire Products County Senior Football Championship Round 4 meeting of Dromcollogher Broadford and St. Senans. And it's St. Senans, the men from further west, I suppose, who lead 1 goal and 6 to 5 points. The men from the estuary are 4 points to the good. We'll be back with second half commentary very short. Now you're welcome back here to Newcastle West, where the two teams are out for the second half. Interesting, St. Senans didn't return to the dressing room. They stayed away to our left-hand side down here, while Dromcollogher Broadford went back to the dressing room for some words, and I'm sure some harsh words, John Keogh, that their season is very much on the line here. Lose this and St. Senans or Dromcollogher Broadford don't make the knockout stages for the first time in a long, long time.
Indeed, Liam, yeah. You would imagine there would have been harsh words said. For a club like Drom, who've won 7 titles since 2003, I think, they expect better themselves. They set a certain standard and they haven't lived up to it in this game, haven't lived up to it all year, and it really is make or break time from now on for the next half hour.
Well, mathematically, I suppose it still would be possible for them to make knockout stages, but realistically, they would face other results, hoping as well, and they win possession of it straight away. And Gerard Gorman sets off on a run, and this would be just the start they wanted, but it's gone to the left and wide. That is their 7th wide of the game. They reckon it was a point, but the two umpires. We don't have the use of Hawkeye here in Newcastle West. Well, if they don't have it in the Gaelic grounds, we don't have it in Newcastle West. 6-5, 7 wide of the game for Dromcollogher Broadford. They could rue those opportunities.
Yeah, they've missed a lot of chances. A lot of it down to St. Senans' good defensive play. But Garm would have expected to score that now, and it would have given them a big lift at the start of the second half as St. Senans attacked down the left with James Nocton.
Well, Podge Mullinall's the umpire to our left. He's the Hawkeye man, as this one is James Nocton. He's through, it's goal! What a goal from James Nocton! Pretty much picked up possession of it across on the far side, about 50 yards out from the goal on the sideline, ran at the heart of the Dromcollogher Broadford defence, and that is a super goal for St. Senans. Just the start they would have wanted to the second half. What a goal from James Nocton.
He's been a star player on show today, Liam, and he's just emphasised it even more there. Picked the ball 50 yards from goal. He was a brilliant run by him, but Drom someone had to come out and tackle him. They didn't. He took advantage and slammed it home.
A goal and 4 points for James Nocton, the captain of St. Senans, and every single one of them from play in this game so far has given his side now a 7-point lead, and real question marks now being asked of Dromcollogher Broadford as Gerard Gorman comes on the attack with this. Back towards Micheál Brosnan, looks up for the option, back towards Kevin Noonan, 4 points to his name in the opening half, kicks that one in, but it goes to the left and wide, and this, or right and wide I should say on this occasion, the 8th wide of the game for Dromcollogher Broadford. They're second of the second half. 2-6, a total of 12 for St. Senans. 5 points for Dromcollogher Broadford. A 7-point lead for St. Senans as the second half. Well, long way to go in this game yet, but that's a fine take in the air from Ger Hanlon, and he's won the mark and plays this one forward as St. Senans again look to come on the attack with Stephen O'Connell. He's been fouled. The referee has said it's going to be a free, and he's gone down as Stephen O'Connell, just 2 minutes of the second half gone, a 7-point lead, and well, real question marks now for Dromcollogher Broadford.
Yeah, there are, Liam. I mean, it's St. Senans to lose from here, it seems to be. Just back on Kevin Noonan's shot there, they're second wide of the half. They seem to be rushing their shots. St. Senans are getting just close enough to put them under pressure. But it's a huge task now for Drom to get back into this game and keep their season alive.
Well, the ball is down the far side of the field now, and St. Senans look to come forward with this one, and again it's James Nocton who's in possession of it on the 45-yard line, lays this one back as far as Dara Wolfe, and Wolfe further up the field now towards Maurice Fitzgerald, takes this one forward on towards the attacking 45. St. Senans just holding up possession, waiting for that gap to appear, and James Nocton looks to try and get through on this occasion off towards Adam Kearns. Kearns fists it in and puts it over the crossbar, and well, St. Senans extend their lead still further. Adam Kearns with the latest point. 2-7 now to St. Senans, 5 points to Dromcollogher Broadford, but Drom Broadford have no answer to James Nocton.
No, he again key to everything. St. Senans have done well tonight. Again, another run, picked it up 50-60 yards from goals, ran at Drom, drew in a couple of defenders, laid it off to Kearns, and Kearns tapped it over.
Good kick out won by Gerard O'Gorman down this near side, off towards Garrett Noonan. You can see the urgency in Dromcollogher Broadford now as they stream forward, off towards Derry McCarthy, right on the 45-yard line. Good ball inside, finds Kevin Noonan. Noonan flicks it off towards Micheál Brosnan, who comes on the attack on the 13, kicks it in and kicks it over the crossbar. Second point of the night for Micheál Brosnan. both one in either half, both from play, and Micheál Brosnan has gotten one back for Dromcollogher Broadford, a much needed one, it has to be said, to 7 to 6 points now, a 7-point lead for St. Senans. And is this the start of the comeback for Drom?
Well, Drom will be hoping so, but the feature of that attack, Liam, they move the ball much quicker around, quickly into Kevin Noonan. He led it off to Micheál Brosnan. Despite some attention from good attention from the St. Senans defence, tapped it over. They'll be hoping, but now St. Senans have a free and they'll slow things down again.
They will, and they've every right to as well. And I suppose there's a lot of talk about game management these days with Dublin footballers and what they do in terms of over and back across the field and just holding on to a lead. St. Senans haven't started that yet, but Gerard Hanlon is in possession of it, plays it across the centre, and lays this one, picks up by Gerard Gorman, and he in turn now finds Derry McCarthy back inside his own half, looking to set defence to attack fairly quickly as McCarthy plays this one towards the far side of the field. Dromcollogher Broadford race on the attack now. Sean O'Sullivan, a lot more urgency to them at this stage now as Dennis Dunnigan plays this towards Derry McCarthy, kicks this one in, but again it goes to the left hand side and wide. 9th wide of the game for Dromcollogher Broadford, almost in double figures. 5 minutes of the second half played here in Newcastle West. St. Senans go with the short kick out, just about works out for them. James Bridgman and Cian Walsh combine, and Walsh eventually plays this forward to Richard Hayes, who's all on his own and has acres of space in front of him. Sets off on a run, man played inside, trying to run onto it as James Naughton. The flick on towards Naughton. This will be a super goal. What a save by the goalkeeper, James Naughton. That was super skill from St. Senans, and again they ripped through the heart of the Drom Broadford defence. Were enough for a fine save by James Noonan, and now Dromcollogher Broadford bring this one clear from Derry McCarthy towards the defensive 65-yard line. Could that be the moment that Drom Broadford will look back on, that will say will save their season? Here is Dennis Dunnigan plays this one. They need a score to come from this, though, one would feel. Micheál Brosnan from one end of the field to the other. Brosnan has lost possession of it, wins it back again though on the 45, back to Derry McCarthy, looks up for the option, none really forthcoming, have to go on a line across the centre of the 45-yard line. Screaming for it on this near side is D. O'Leary. Micheál Brosnan goes the far side though, now back towards Derry McCarthy. Need to get a score from this, you feel, to Dromcollogher Broadford. Sean O'Sullivan, hand pass inside towards Dennis Dunnigan. He gathers it, held up though, lays this ball back towards Kevin Noonan, the captain, spins one way then the other. Good defence by St. Senans, not diving in, not conceding a free so far. Derry McCarthy kicks this one poorly, it has to be said, and St. Senans have done well to defend that one, and away they come with this one now. Well, that could be a crucial couple of moments in this game as Ray O'Flaherty brings this one away. What can St. Senans do from here? Off towards the man of the match without a shadow of a doubt so far, James Naughton. Now towards Stephen O'Connell. O'Connell holds it up, finds the support near side from Darragh Wolfe on towards the 21. Now towards Conor Milan, near side of the field. A right footed effort from Conor Milan, flied it in, brilliantly gathered. Here's an opportunity of another goal. It's in and it's over the crossbar from Adam Kearns. Could have been a goal, rose above everybody, one possession of it. He'll take the point though. 2-8 to 6 points, and now an 8-point lead for St. Senans. John,
could have been more, Liam, but Adam Kearns decided, well, he probably went for goal and went over, but just before that, brilliant defending from St. Senans again. You know, Drom Broadford had Michael O'Sullivan inside operating at full forward, couldn't get the ball into him, and then just before that again, St. Senans with another chance of a goal. Brilliant move, James Naughton, by lovely hand pass by Conor Milan. Great save from James Noonan, who's kept Drom Broadford in this game. And I'm just looking down the sideline now, the evergreen Ray Lynch about to come in for Drom Broadford.
Yeah, Ray Lynch going to come on for Dromcollogher Broadford in just a moment. The referee has spotted something there off the ball. St. Senans were on the attack there, and I think he's calling over a Dromcollogher Broadford player. I think trying to see who it is. Is it Michael Ryan crossing that far side that's going to pick up a yellow card? And as John says, Ray Lynch does come on to the field of play down here beneath us. In fact, I think it's the captain, is it, that's picked up the yellow card. But Ray Lynch is on, and I think it's Dennis Dunnigan is the man that he has replaced on the team for Dromcollogher Broadford. So Ray Lynch for Dennis Dunnigan. as St. Senans take the free and opt from Ray Flaherty to go all the way back to the goalkeeper Cian Walsh, who came out in a bit of a run to the 21-yard line, but it has worked as Dennis Dunnigan slowly makes his way off down here in front of us, as St. Senans now in possession of it with Ger Hanlon back there inside his own half back line, finds the support from Stephen O'Connell, spins away from the attempted challenge, goes forward this, the referee plays an advantage for an off the ball foul there. It was Ger Hanlon that was making a run up the centre, and his run was checked, the referee has said. So St. Senans have the free, which they have taken quickly, and well, for descent it's been advanced a further 10 yards as well. So things just not going the way of Dromcollogher Broadford here in Newcastle West this evening.
No, they're not. It's just looking around at a few of them, there's a few of the bigger lads in the team seem to be out on their feet at the moment. St. Senans could take advantage of that if they keep their speedy forward play going. Just something to watch in the next 10 minutes.
Well, the free for St. Senans sent by Maurice Fitzgerald, long ball inside, a couple of Dromcollogher Broadford players gather possession of it, and afterwards Garrett Noonan comes away with this. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of grappling going on, I think is the handiest way to put it, on the edge of the semicircle. So the referee is held up playing. Conor Milan, I think, just using a bit of experience there. He just held the Dromcollogher Broadford player, knowing that the attack would be brought back, and Conor just showing his few years of experience there. He'll probably pick up a yellow card, but he won't be too worried about that.
Not in the slightest. Liam knew exactly what he was doing in slowing down that potential attack further on Broadford, who now have another sub on. Seems to be that Gerard Garman's coming off, and on is number 22, Damien Burke.
So Damien Burke is on, and I think the referee is actually going to throw the ball up between a couple of players, is the decision, is it? Which to me is an interesting one, because the advantage should certainly have been with Dromcollogher Broadford and should have been a free out for them, but he's going to throw it up. So Conor Milan has done exceptionally well there, but well, Drom Broadford win possession of it anyway with Michael O'Sullivan, lays this one off, and coming forward this one is Derry McCarthy, hand pass towards this near side of the field, finds Keith Lacey, who brings this one forward back to Derry McCarthy, long ball sent inside Micheál Brosnan, bit of a hospital pass, and I think he's picked up a fair knock on the shoulder there as Micheál Brosnan, who was speeding to try and get to that. He has plenty of pace, but just picked up a little stinger on the shoulder there, and this is going to be a free, I think, or maybe the referee just stopped play. I'm not sure it was a free, so it'll be interesting to see what way play is going to restart here, because St. Senans were in clean possession of it, so they should have a free, but you wouldn't know. I think he's yeah, Conor Milan did pick up a yellow card inside there, and he's hobbling inside there now. Seems to be Conor Milan way inside on the right hand side. But anyway, we'll follow the flight of the football as St. Senans get that free, and they come forward now with James Naughton, a goal and 4 points to his name so far. Beautiful little flick forward towards Ray O'Flaherty. Flaherty on towards the 21-yard line, midway between the 21 and the 45, across on the far side. Naughton again holding up possession of it, decides he's going to go backwards with this one to Maurice Fitzgerald right in the halfway line, and he in turn plays it towards Darragh Wolfe, but too much on it out over this near stand sideline. And I suppose that's just one thing maybe that St. Senans don't want to get into the habit of, is being too smart with it, I suppose, John, and just making silly mistakes like that.
Yeah, that was very lax from them, Liam. There was no need to play the ball where it was played. Just something to watch with St. Senans now, that they don't take it handy. They're after getting lucky with that hand pass, more of a throw from Drom Broadford, but they just have to keep their wits about them now. They're well on top, just need to drive it home here from here.
8 to 6 points the scoreline here. Stopwatch says 12 and a half minutes played of the second half, and St. Senans have another player down injured. Meanwhile, Kevin Noonan, the Dromcollogher Broadford captain, has just picked up a yellow card, so it obviously wasn't him that was yellow carded a couple of minutes ago. So yellow card for him, for Kevin Noonan. And the stopwatch, well, as I say, it's ticking away all this time in favour of St. Senans, who hold an 8-point lead here. 2 goals and 8 points for St. Senans, 6 points for Dromcollogher Broadford. And are we seeing the well, I suppose the first of what would be a huge story if Drom Broadford didn't make championship knockout? James Naughton is through again. He's still going Naughton spins it back. Here's an opportunity and a point again for Richard Hayes, but James Naughton is just cutting through the Dromcollogher Broadford defence. We said it earlier, they just don't seem to have an answer to him, and it's Richard Hayes that gets the point.
Yeah, he's just ripping through them at every opportunity, Liam. You said he's doing it at ease. There's nothing Broadford can do with it at this stage. Maybe take him out, I think, is the only option. They don't even look like they can get close enough to do him. But and another chance here for St. Senans.
There sure is, as they walk through again. An opportunity. Oh, what a save. Oh, no, it's a miss, in fact. I thought it was a fine save. It was Richard Hayes who had a goal in the first half. That was true there, and his effort goes to the right-hand side and wide. And that a huge let-off for Broadford, but they are being ripped to ribbons.
Absolutely, Liam. Again, from nothing, just a run straight through the middle from St. Senans again there. A huge chance for Richard Hayes to put this game to bed, but at this stage it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much.
2 goals and 9 points to St. Senans, 6 points to Dromcollogher Broadford. They need a goal. They need a few of them, you feel, and need them fairly quickly here as Michael Ryan has possession of it, goes to ground. Referee plays the advantage as the ball played into wily old Ray Lynch, gathers possession of it on the 13-yard line. The hand pass wasn't really the best from Ray Lynch, but the referee has said he was being pulled and dragged. It's going to be a free going in favour of Dromcollogher Broadford on the 13-yard line. And well, they'd want to be in a bit of a hurry to take this, and Kevin Noonan is standing over this one. 4 points to his name so far. And you just look at the range of scorers. We said it at half time off air, but you look at it, Dromcollogher Broadford, just 2 scorers in this game so far, and Kevin Noonan has hit the upright with that one. And it comes back down, and St. Senans come away with this one. And well, I think that kind of sums up Dromcollogher Broadford's evening, John.
It does, Liam. Yeah, it's systematic of their day so far. Nothing going right for them. We're talking there about the wily old Ray Lynch. Ray's pulled out some miracles over the years with Broadford. He's going to have to pull another one out at this stage.
I don't think even Lazarus could pull out a miracle like this for Dromcollogher Broadford at this stage. We're at the midway point of the second half, but one never knows, says Drom Broadford. One thing about them anyway, they certainly won't give up as they come forward in the shape now of Kevin Noonan, just on the 65-yard line. Hand pass towards Derry McCarthy, across on that far side. McCarthy plays this one forward in towards Ray Lynch. It's like winding back the clock when you talk about Derry McCarthy to Ray Lynch. Now to Micheál Brosnan. In it goes into the hands of the goalkeeper though, and Cian Walsh again lays this one off, and St. Senans come away with this one now. Dara Wolf down this near side of the field. Hand pass off, finds Ray Flaherty, or in fact it's Anthony Mulvihill back there. Plays this one back now towards that far side of the field, and this time it's Ray O'Flaherty that has it further out the far side, and there to bring this one away is Stephen O'Connell across far side. Goes across the centre now, and Dale Fitzgerald has it. Kicks it near side, this time towards Morris Fitzgerald, and St. Senans just in keep possession stakes now at this stage, you'd have to say, as Anthony Mulvihill plays this forward. Gets the return pass again down here in front of us, is fouled by his opposite number. The referee awards the free, and the free is taken quickly, and Senans through Ger Hanlon comes forward with this, opts to lay it back this time as far as Adam Kearns. Further back now towards Ray Flaherty, who runs onto this now towards the James Naughton, the main man for St. Senans this evening, as this ball is brought forward now by Stephen O'Connell on towards the attacking 45-yard line. Looks up for the option, lays it back again towards Naughton, holds this one up on this occasion and decides to go long then. That's a beautiful ball inside towards Richard Hayes, who's out in front of his man, 21 yards, spins one way then the other, gets past Jack Ryan, gets the effort. The umpire has said though it has gone to the left and wide. The umpire on this near right hand stick was about to raise the white flag. The one on the far side said it was wide, and for me the one on the point flag was the one that was in the best position to make the call.
I think he was, Liam. Yeah, like the St. Senans players are incensed that it hasn't been given. It should have been given. It looked definitely from our angle that it was over, but sure, as you know, it doesn't matter what we think in here.
I think the umpire on this near side is going to win the battle. The flag has been waved. A point for St. Senans. There is the white flag, but is it the white flag of, well, I won't say it's the white flag of surrender for Dromcollogher Broadford, because they'll certainly try on, but it could be a white flag that could result in, for the first time in a long time, Dromcollogher Broadford not making the knockout stages. As I say, mathematically it still is possible, but realistically it is looking like a real uphill task for them now, John.
It is, Liam. Yeah, again you just see James Naughton again being the influential player in this game. He got the ball, great moving from Richard Hayes for that score. He dummied right and came back left and then tapped it over with his left after turning his man. St. Senans, the biggest problem St. Senans may have in the final quarter of this game is that the panic. They're not showing any signs of it at this stage yet. But that's the only way I see Drom Broadford getting back into this game.
Well, this is going to be free, I think, around the middle of the field. Is it 2-10 to 6 points? A 10-point lead here for St. Senans, and they have a couple of players down again. I see Conor Milan just receiving a bit of treatment now to our right hand side. Shane Kelly going in, the coach for this St. Senans side. Applied his trade, of course, with Newcastle West for many years as a senior footballer, and now doing a super job, it has to be said here. The referee has awarded a free. I wasn't watching what happened there from the kick out, and it's off towards Nocton, but he wants to call it back.
Yeah, long ball in from James Nocton there. Liam saw that Hayes had gone inside his man. D. O'Leary is the man in trouble. Now, from my memory, D was booked in the first half. He's only getting a note. The ref's only taking his name again, so looks like Conor Milan's day is done now as well.
So Conor Milan is making his way off down here, and he's been replaced by Damien Kavanagh, who's gone on. Darren Kavanagh, of course, yeah, that's gone on the field of play. So Darren is on, and the free for St. Senans, and an opportunity here for them to extend the lead still further. 2-10 to 6 at the minute, a 10-point lead. This will make it 11, but I think it's gone to the left, has it? No, it's gone just inside the upright and over from the boot of Richard Hayes again. So that's now a goal and 5 points from the boot of Richard Hayes. We're talking about James Nocton, who's got a goal and 4 points. Richard Hayes has outscored him.
He has, yeah, but a lot to do with, like, James Nocton's scores have all come from play, but equally Richard Hayes has had a big influence for St. Senans. He's operating now around full forward, in a two-man full forward line with Adam Kearns. Two big men inside that St. Senans can now, if they want to, launch the ball in long and try and get the breaks from there. Something that Broadford should have been doing from late in the first half.
This will be a huge win for St. Senans as it stands in the group of Senior Football Championship. This would lift St. Senans off the basement, putting the Piershig as the foot of the table. But of course, St. Senans will have played a game more than the Piershig, and Dromcollogher Broadford just above them then on 2 points. So this will move St. Senans level on points with Monaleen, and Ballylanders, Adair of course topping it with 3 wins from 3. Ballylanders 5 points from their 4 games so far in second place, and as we say, this puts St. Senans and Monaleen level on points, as here comes the opportunity for a free sent in from Kevin Noonan, sent over the crossbar, and that is Dromcollogher Broadford's just second point, I think, of the second half. And the second half is 21 minutes old, and well, with a return of just 2 points, you ain't going to win too many games with that. 2-11 now to 7 points.
Yeah, Liam, it's just not, they've just not been good enough in the second half. You know, they just haven't turned up really again, and it's a big worry for Broadford fans. You know, we mentioned 7 titles in this decade or this century alone. In the 18 years, you know, they've been the star team over the last 10 years. They've done everything really, and now it's just looking around them. Is this the end of them? You'd have to wonder.
Well, you certainly would. Of course, they gave us a wonderful memory against Nemo Rangers, that famous day in the Gaelic grounds, going on to win the Munster Club Football Championship. That few years ago now at this stage, what was it, 2008 if I'm not mistaken, that Broadford won that. But anyway, here they come on the attack. They're a proud club as Michael O'Sullivan plays this one forward. A Hail Mary ball inside, but the prayers of St. Senans are answered on this occasion as they come away with it, away to our left hand side now, and here they come building in a tap from deep inside their own half on the 21-yard line. 2-11 to St. Senans, 7 points for Dromcollogher Broadford, a 10-point lead for St. Senans as they're looking to bring this one clear now. Ray O'Flaherty under a bit of pressure finds the support across on that far side, and they do look composed here for the last 7.5 minutes. It's just a case of seeing this one out now surely for St. Senans as here they come through Darren Lawler across on that far side, back towards James Nocton, further across the centre now to David Finnerty, back to Nocton again, skips past the first challenge, still holds up possession of it, now finds Ray Flaherty down the far side of the field, lays this one towards Anthony Mulvihill, and Mulvihill up this near side as they come with Maurice Fitzgerald towards Ger Hanlon. Hanlon back across the centre again to David Finnerty, holding up possession of it. The name of the game now for St. Senans, and they could hold it around this 65-yard line for the remainder of the game if they want, as Ger Hanlon is in possession of it, looks to try and put on the speed skills there, and plays this one forward towards Adam Kearns. 2 points to him, back towards Ger Hanlon. Hanlon onto the 21, a hand pass off now as far as Richard Hayes, who kicks this one in to Gary Owen. He might gather it again himself. He's passed it to himself inadvertently. 13 yards out, under pressure from two Drom Broadford defenders. Lays this one back to Darren Kavanagh. Further back now towards Ray Flaherty. Kicks this with the left boot. It's going to drop short into the hands of the goalkeeper, who's met by a hefty shoulder by Richard Hayes, and the ball is cleared, and Dromcollogher Broadford come away with this one now. Off as far as Derry McCarthy. Off to his own 65. He's got pace as Derry on towards the attacking 45-yard line. Looks up for the option. A wall of St. Senans jerseys just in front of him. It's a bit like Roscommon jerseys, the St. Senans ones at this moment in time, and that's brilliantly robbed and brought away by Dale Fitzgerald down that far side. He hand passes it off, and now it's that man James Nocton again who's in possession of it towards the 65, heads towards the 45-yard line. Still James Nocton going through. Hand pass this time. Well, he's human after all, it looks like. Not the best of hand passes, and it comes away from Jack Ryan, but I'm sure nobody in St. Senans will give out to him too much about that pass, as Derry McCarthy launches this one long near side of the field. Up goes the hands of Ray Lynch, wins possession of it, back towards Micheál Brosnan, bursting through the centre. Brosnan with the shot, it's in and it's over the crossbar. Second point of the second half for Micheál Brosnan, third point in total for the Dromcollogher Broadford man, and it's 2-11 now to 8 points for Dromcollogher Broadford. 9 point lead. They're looking to make another change down here as well beneath us. Damien Lacey, I think, is the man that's going to come on in just a moment, but it's 9 points, John. 2-11 to 8.
Yeah, it's goals they need now, Liam, and they've Ray Lynch inside, who's been double marked inside, alone, still operating with a lone man inside around the square. They need someone else in with him if they're going to get goals. Good play by Ray there though to set up that score for Micheál Brosnan as Derry McCarthy shoots. Another score. It
is another score for Derry McCarthy. First one of the game for him, a much needed one for Dromcollogher Broadford. 2-11 to 9. We're trying to get the attention of the referee for Dromcollogher Broadford to make a substitution here, but St. Senans player gone down injured inside, and I think it's Dale Fitzgerald that's gone down injured, but I don't think there's anything too much wrong with him. Probably just a little bit of experience there from St. Senans, trying to slow it down after Drom Broadford have gotten, is it 2 in a row now?
Absolutely what they're trying to do. Dale is one of the lads who hasn't been down at all today, so I don't think there's anything too serious. A bit of a surprise to see Drom Broadford take Micheál Brosnan off now though, when it's goals they've needed, and he's been one of their scoring threats all evening.
He sure has. His race has run down here beneath us is the race of Dromcollogher Broadford in the County Senior Football Championship run as well. Of course, they will have another game to play in this championship, whenever that may be. I suppose mid-August, there or thereabouts. First week in September, I think, is the next round of games for Dromcollogher Broadford to be involved in. The referee has said St. Senans have overcarried it. It's going to be a free for Drom Broadford, which they take quickly down the far side towards Derry McCarthy. They need a goal and a few points, and Derry McCarthy has decided the point will do at this stage. And well, they're crawling slowly but surely back into it. 2-11 to 10 points now, and that's 17 points to 10, 7 point lead. The stopwatch says 3 minutes of normal time left, plus whatever the referee is going to add on. This would be some comeback if Dromcollogher Broadford were to do it, but well, they'll need a goal, methinks, as this ball comes near side of the field. Trying to win possession of it is Ross Egan. He gathers it ahead of anybody else, and Egan plays this one now towards Kevin Noonan. Drom Broadford just firing everything forward now as Michael O'Sullivan plays this ball forward. Is it going to be cut out? Ray Lynch might get to it across the centre. It's one. Here's an opportunity for that goal chance, but it's gone to the right and wide from Damien Lacey. He just had that brief moment where he thought he could get a goal, but it goes for Dromcollogher Broadford's 10th wide of the game, 2-10 to 10, 6 between them.
Yeah, huge chance for Damien Lacey there after his first touch. Bizarre clearance by one of the St. Senans defenders, set up that chance. Maybe came too early for him as he's on the field, and a huge chance for Drom Broadford to get back into the game. But yet again they've missed it, and St. Senans now on the attack once more.
to scoreboard to our left is wrong. It should be 2-11 to 10. It's 2-10 to 10. But we'll follow the football as Adam Kearns goes forward. This one kicks it in. It'll now be 2-12 to 10 points in favour of St. Senans. That's what the scoreboard should read to our left hand side. Shawnee Roach just a little bit lax there in his duties, obviously following the racing in Galway this evening a little bit too intently, as Darren Kavanagh wins possession of that, plays it near side. Darragh Wolfe plays this one forward now. St. Senans looking to close this game out, and taking it into contact was Richard Hayes, kicks this one. It started and looked good, but it curled to the right hand side, and why? But I think the referee had awarded a free. He was playing an advantage for a pull, so it's going to be a free. 2-12 to 10 points, an 8-point lead for St. Senans. A minute and 15 seconds left. There's surely no comeback now.
You wouldn't think so now, Liam. No, with the St. Senans, they just upped the pace again the last couple of minutes after them. From Broadford coming back into it a little bit. Richard Hayes, then he'll slow everything down, taking this free. It looks to be their day, and very few could argue with it at this stage.
Well, here comes the free for Richard Hayes. Going to strike this one into the goal away to our right hand side, into the main goal here in Newcastle West, as he lines this free up. The breeze that was there a little earlier has dissipated again, and no breeze really into his face here as he kicks this one. That looks to be a good one, though drops into the hands of the goalkeeper, so maybe the breeze still blowing into the face of him there as he kicked that one. Dromcollogher Broadford look to turn defence into attack. They need a goal, they need a couple of goals and a couple of points tacked onto it as well in order to salvage something here, but there's hardly time. Derry McCarthy fouled around the middle of the field. The free sent near side but cut out, and that is well won by Ger Hanlon, well read by him. Lays it off now as far as Stephen O'Connell, further out now towards Ray Flaherty, back to O'Connell again, who in turn finds Darragh Wolfe on this near side of the field. Wolfe brings this one clear as Wolfe in possession of it towards Ger Hanlon. Hanlon plays this one forward now, holding up possession of it are St. Senans. That's the name of the game at this moment in time, and Anthony Mulvihill has possession of it. We're about to hit towards stoppage time here in Newcastle West. 2-12 to 10 points. We are in stoppage time now. It's at the discretion of Michael Wolfe of Patrick's Well. Darren Kavanagh holding up possession of it in the middle of the field, lays the hand pass back towards Maurice Fitzgerald. This victory, as I say, will move St. Senans to 3 points on the table. Dromcollogher Broadford will have 2 points after 4 games. St. Senans will have 3 points after 3 games. Darren Kavanagh plays this one forward, and now it goes towards Darragh Wolfe. Wolfe going forward with this one. On he goes onto the 21, still going Wolfe. Hand pass outside towards Adam Kearns. Chance of a goal, and it's into the net. The icing has been well and truly put on the cake from Adam Kearns and St. Senans. A huge victory for them. 3-12 now to 10 points, and this is a huge victory for St. Senans.
Absolutely it is, Liam. Yeah, and one they've fully deserved. No one, Darragh Wolfe had all the room in the world to run into there. Took the right option after a 50-metre run, laid it off to Adam Kearns, and a brilliant finish from Kearns to seal a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, and from the kick out, I don't think it travelled the required distance, I think the referee is saying, and it's going to be a free here. Change for St. Senans down here beneath us. Ger Hanlon is the man that has made way, and Dom Kearns has come on the field of play for them. So here's an opportunity now. The referee just having a word with the goalkeeper inside there. So the state of play in the Senior Football Championship in this particular group, we'll run down through it and the permutations once the final whistle blows. But the referee going to throw the ball up between a couple of players on the 21-yard line. It's won by Dromcollogher Broadford as they look to come away with it, and the referee has said the ball was thrown. It's going to be a free, or I think there was an off the ball challenge, yeah, and Garrett Noonan is the man that's been spoken to by the referee, and the colour of the card from the referee, it's Michael O'Sullivan in fact that he's speaking to, and the referee has a word with him and gives him a yellow card. So a yellow card for the midfielder Michael O'Sullivan for Dromcollogher Broadford, and this a free for St. Senans, dead straight in front of the post, and this will probably be the last play of the game. John?
You'd imagine so, Liam. Yeah, just Michael O'Sullivan maybe a bit lucky there. He threw the elbow back on Richard Hayes as he tried to come out with the ball. Irrelevant at this stage, I suppose, as well. And another 6 yellow cards we're being told by John Reddington here. But yeah, back to St. Senans. They've been absolutely immense from very early in the game. James Naughton has obviously been the star player. ably backed up by Hayes, and it turns out it's not a free in now, it's a hot ball. But yeah, Senans fully deserving, and it gets them back into the championship. And maybe, as you've said earlier, that Drom Broadford's days could be numbered in this, but permutations will tell us different maybe as the next round of the championship comes. But yeah, very few could argue with this. It's Senans have been massively impressive. Only after coming up from last year, winning the intermediate championship, got a bad beating by Anguel, tucked in the Munster final, but it seems that it hasn't knocked too much out of them since, and this should give them a huge confidence boost going ahead for the rest of the championship.
Well, Maurice Fitzgerald has made way for St. Senans, and he's been replaced there on the field of plays. Here come Drom Broadford again. Kevin Noonan goes forward with this one. On he goes, brought to ground under 21. The referee has awarded a free in, and the free in going in favour of Dromcollogher Broadford. All too little too late, but of course scoring difference could have a huge impact on this, and Dromcollogher Broadford have to think about that as they drop that one in around the square. Shot goes in, blocked on the goal line by St. Senans, and they breathe again, but it's out of play for a 45. And Dromcollogher Broadford going in search of a goal, but it's out of play for a 45.
Yeah, eventually they put the ball in high. Ball broke to Patrick Stack, hit it well, but the St. Senans goalie Keane Walsh was in the right place, right time. Then followed up with a punch out for the 45 to get rid of any danger. But even if Drom got one at this stage, it wouldn't make much difference.
Well, their scoring difference after this defeat at this moment in time is minus 22 on the group table. So you're looking at that, and you're seeing how Adair have 6 points in the group, Ballylanders have 5, Monaleen with 3, now St. Senans with 3 as well, and the Piershig underneath them, Dromcollogher Broadford with 2 points, second from bottom. They are really relying on other results now and hoping that things go their way. It's certainly out of their hands anyway from a Dromcollogher Broadford point of view, and you'd have to say looking highly unlikely as this ball drops in from Garrett Noonan. Referee says that is that, it's all over. St. Senans have recorded a huge win here, not just in terms of the season tonight and for St. Senans in terms of getting their campaign right back on track. On their third attempt, they get their first victory in the Senior Football Championship of 2018. They have a draw to their name already. They now have a victory on top of it. It puts their season right back on track, but at the other side of it, is that the end of Dromcollogher Broadford's campaign in terms of reaching knockout football championship for another successive season? We'll have to wait for a few more weeks to find that out, but this is a huge dent for them. But for St. Senans, John, it's a huge boost for them.
Absolutely, Liam. Yeah, as we were saying earlier, like they've completely dominated the game. That they've been a better team throughout from pretty much the first moment. And you've St. Senans badly needing this victory to keep their hopes alive. As I said a few minutes ago, just up from intermediate, but the likes of, we've said it throughout the game as well, the likes of James Naughton especially and Richard Hayes ably backed him up. Massively impressive from them. From Drom Broadford's point of view, it doesn't look good. They look very sorrowful leaving the field at this stage. They have the heads down, as you'd expect after such a defeat. After Ballylanders game last week, another heavy defeat, they stayed out in the field for long periods after. Shawnee Buckley, who's a huge absence for them yet again today, spoke to every one of them. He was the man, they formed a circle around him, trying to inspire the lads. It clearly hasn't worked, and it just looks now that Drom Broadford are out of it.
Well, there you have it here in Newcastle West this evening. It's a big victory for St. Senans. 3 goals and 12 points to St. Senans, 10 points to Dromcollogher Broadford. Hope wherever you were watching you enjoyed our coverage here on the Sporting Limerick stream. We'll be back, of course, when club action resumes after the All-Ireland series. We'll have hurling and football championship to bring you here on Sporting Limerick. But from us all here in Newcastle West this evening, my thanks to John Keogh for his analysis, Raphael and Luke Liddy on camera, and Raphael Rocca who looked after all logistics here in Newcastle West. It's finished 3-12 for St. Senans, 10 points for Dromcollogher Broadford.